Good morning and welcome to Cityline. From my kitchen to your home, we have a great hour ahead of us. Later on, we'll be talking with Pierce Transit. They have a new system called the Runner that you are going to want to know about. It feels like you can call Pierce Transit and order up your own ride, and that's exactly what it is. Shared housing services will be here. We are coming into fall, and more than ever, a lot of us are thinking about housing and those who are unhoused. So shared housing services has some beautiful options in terms of ways that you can help those who need a home, but also not expand our carbon footprint in terms of building new homes. The Humane Society will be here. Victoria will be here to talk about how they have been very, very nimble during the pandemic and how they have set records for adopting pets. And then, of course, Ashley will be here with our Pet of the Week. And then with me right now are two very recognizable individuals. They are here to talk about Uplift Tacoma. So please join me in welcoming Mayor Victoria Woodards. Hello, my dear.
Good morning, love.
It's so great to have you. And you have your partner in crime.
I do.
This is what we would definitely call good trouble. And you know what I mean by that.
Yes.
Who is this in your lap?
This is Genesis. This is my partner. This is my baby girl. This is, I think during the pandemic, I think this is my emotional support dog.
There we go.
Absolutely.
This is the first dog, as we say.
Of Tacoma, exactly.
And Daryl Cruz, hello, my friend. Welcome to Cityline. You are the director and producer of Uplift Tacoma. It's so great to have you here.
Hello. It's great to be here.
All right. Well, let's start with you, Mayor Woodards. This summer, you launched the Uplift Tacoma initiative. So what is Uplift Tacoma in terms of the program for people who perhaps are on vacation when it got announced?
Gotcha. So I'll start with just a quick background. When the pandemic first hit, one of the great things about being a mayor and participating in some of the national organizations is that you get to meet a lot of other mayors and you get to learn from what they're doing. And I heard about this thing from Greg Fisher, the mayor of Louisville, called Lift Up Lou. And it was a space for artists to go and upload their information or upload their websites or upload films or performances so that during this COVID pandemic, people could access that information. And when I first saw it, I went directly to our Tacoma Venue and Events Department, Kim Badir, and said, I want to do this in Tacoma because obviously because we passed Tacoma Creates. Obviously, there is a movement, and Tacoma really understands the contributions that artists make in our community. When I say artists, I'm talking about all kinds of artists. And so I put it out there, and I thought it was like, well, it's just not possible. We've got so much going on with COVID. So I put it out there, and the next thing I knew, it happened. And so now we have Uplift Tacoma, which is an opportunity to go. You can log on. All of the Tacoma Creates partners websites are right there. You can see performances. I believe the Asia Pacific Cultural Center has cooking shows on it. Like you can go watch movies, like what Daryl's going to share with you. So it's just a great way you can't get to the theaters or you can't go to all of the art museums. I mean, it's a great way to still enjoy the arts, which is the part that enriches our community.
Oh, so well said. And that's, besides hugging people, that's one of the things I miss the most.
Oh.
Sitting down and watching art in front of my eyes or going into a museum even I do eat out at Primo Grill because I love them, but that's art as well. And it's so great that we can go one place and get that.
Yeah.
When we think about some of the examples that you have seen, what resonates with you?
Well, I love the Northwest Sinfonietta, what they submitted. It was just so beautiful. The just the orchestral work that they put in and were able to do from a home. Also Alchemy Skateboarding, they were extremely, generous with all of their ramp building materials and just the things that they're doing for, young people at home without things to do. Obviously, the mayor had mentioned the Asian Pacific Cultural Center, how they, have their cooking shows and their Asian dance programming. I mean, it's just been a wonderful process seeing Uplift Tacoma come to life.
Oh, how can you not be just so filled up to the point of overflow? And for me, that's what uplifting is all about. So, Mayor Woodards, as you pull back and you have this unique point of view, because you view our city from a mayoral point of view, almost like a 30,000 feet looking down. What are you seeing from your point of view in terms of community members? What are they doing to lift up and support other community members?
Well, obviously what we're doing with Uplift Tacoma is one thing, is, the arts side of it. You've got people who are writing spoken word. Again, you've got movies. I love you can go to Facebook and you've got all these local people who are doing Saturday morning concerts from their living room, right? And so it's not only a way to, in my opinion, just get stuff out to people, right? But what's really cool is that people who aren't part of an arts organization or aren't part of the Sinfonietta or part of a band or part of a spoken word group, they're getting just to share their talent. And I think that's what's exciting for me. Is like I look up and I go, I didn't even know they sing. And they're playing a guitar on Facebook every Saturday morning. Like Nick Byard and his wife, right? They do a Saturday morning concert. And then the other day at Rotary, there was a group of young people and a member of Rotary singing the Star Spangled Banner from home. I mean, I've been to concerts online. I've been to fundraisers online that involve, the arts. So I think it's really cool how people are adapting in this time to still provide content that makes people feel better. And I guess for some people, just performing. Right? We get something and they get something. So it's coming from all over the place.
Well, and I'm getting just a hit of art from looking at you in Genesis and thinking how precious this is. So, Daryl, there is a new series launched called Being, Doing, Knowing.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
So in the midst of, we have been going through an interesting moment in our culture and in our nation. And so wanting to make an artistic statement that is in response to that. So I collaborated with Coleman and Associates on just kind of figuring out what kind of things that we could do from this framework. And then the 3-part concept of being, doing, and knowing came about. And so being is about just Black personhood, just about the humanity and, just who Black people are in totality. We live full lives and are complex people. We're not a monolith, right? We're all these different things. But more than anything, we are human. And that was important to show. And then doing is just about, Black business and innovation. There's so many great things happening in the Black business community in Tacoma and, in our nonprofit community as well. So wanted to just showcase some of the leaders in that space and hear about what they're doing and how the community can continue to support them. And then knowing is about Black history and Black futures. So we're going to center the elders a little bit and hear from them and hear where we've been and where we're going. So that's the 3-part video series in a nutshell.
That sounds incredible. And we can go to the website that we've been showing below your beautiful face and people can click on it and watch it there, which is so fabulous. I loved when you said we're not a monolith, because it's so true. I mean, the news yesterday of Jordan Blake, it's like, once again, we need to come together and lift each other up, because Black Lives Matter. And as Pam Duncan says, this is the second pandemic. The first one was COVID. The second one is the Black Lives Matter movement. So I'm so happy to hear that you have embraced this as a form of communication. And it almost felt like a love letter to me, that you were writing this love letter about your experience. And I can't think of a more precious gift than that.
Yeah, it's funny that you say it like that. It really was. It was meant to kind of be like, for African Americans, it was kind of like a hug. In every Black family, there's that aunt or that grandma or somebody that, gives the best hugs and gives the best reassurance. And I wanted it to feel like, a hug from grandma, or like, that word from your really cool uncle that's been through some things and survived.
Yeah, and of course, who gives the best hugs? That's Mayor Woodard's, and that's
true.
She could campaign on hugs, and she would win.
Absolutely.
So, Mayor Woodard, let's talk about, in these last few minutes, insight into Compassionate Tacoma initiative. Give us an update. How is that going?
It's going well. Obviously, who would have known that when we launched it in the very beginning of March, that we would go into this pandemic and need compassion more than anything. And it's going obviously really well, because Tacoma has shown an immense amount of compassion. And I could talk about all the things we're doing, but I think I'll just highlight one thing. We are in partnership with Graduate Tacoma, who launched earlier this summer a community commitment for safe youth. Because what we realized is that we would be losing up to 4,000 slots of activities for youth this summer. And so we had businesses, individuals, organizations sign up to be a part of this movement. And Compassionate Tacoma was a part of it. But it talked about creating and nurturing a welcoming environment for our youth. Stop, listen, and engage our youth. Check your emotions and then give grace. And I think we got through, we've got a couple weeks left, but we've gotten through the summer. And I think our youth have had a better experience because of this initiative that was launched early on. So, that's one thing we're doing as we get into the fall. There will be some other things you'll be hearing us announce here shortly. I'll come back and tell you all about it. About the ways that we want to be able to hear people's stories and hear people share their stories about what they're doing around Compassionate Tacoma. Because I didn't pick it so that the city could show how it was compassionate. I picked it, and when I say city, I mean the government, City Hall. Mm-hmm. We picked this initiative so that everybody could learn how compassionate people in our city are. You think about Daryl, who took this on just wanting to tell the story of African Americans in the city of Tacoma. You think about what Graduate Tacoma has done. You think about the whole Uplift Tacoma website and what it's focused. So many. You think about what the Greater Tacoma Community Foundation has done. Just so many people are doing work that are really lifting up our city, food banks, all of that. That's what's really important in this work of Compassionate Tacoma, is to lift up what we already are, a compassionate city.
Yes.
But to have us focus and lift that up.
My last question, Daryl, is what's next for you, writer of love letters?
Indeed. So working with the team right now, we are, in full-fledged for doing and knowing. So all of those are going to be, released. Doing is going to be out in a few weeks. Knowing will be out in October for Arts Month. And then we're going to combine them into the 3 pieces into one film. And hopefully some community panels and community conversations can come out of this as well. I want to take a really quick opportunity to thank the team as well. Alex Alexander, Isaiah Hines, Terrell Jones. This couldn't happen without them, so I want to thank them.
Absolutely. And I can see a Tacoma Urban League event happening here when you put them all together, and then we all Zoom and pay to watch it, and the proceeds go where the 2 of you think they should go.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here today, taking time out of this really critical and sometimes crunchy day when things get thrown at us and we're trying to keep the plates all spinning. But the 2 of you are just love incarnate. So thank you for being here. And Mayor Woodards, thank you for letting us meet Genesis.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you. And thank you, Daryl, for taking this on for Tacoma. We really appreciate you and are proud of your work.
Thank you so much, Mayor Waters.
Absolutely.